You kind of like it as well.
Yeah.
I
like the clothes.
The clothes are cool.
Yeah, I like all the Adidas shorts and the Adidas tops that Sophie wears. They look.
And the No Fear cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
I
90s.
loved all the caps.
The music is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The music. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we love music, guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, so many. I mean, it was a lot of fun to create the soundtrack, and I think in a lot of ways that's the most clear indicator of the period, but I think it was the details that I enjoyed the most, of drawing out the specifics of clothing, of finding rhythms of language, which are a little bit different, just infusing the period in every frame in a way that didn't distract from the story and draw too much attention to itself. It was a really fine balance. But I was working with a lot of people who have a lot of attention to detail. Our costume designer would rip the collars off things and replace them with a collar that felt more authentic to the period. Just a lot of detail and thought and care went into recreating the 1990s.
Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo. We like breakup songs here.
Karaoke is my idea of absolute torture, a total nightmare, which is why it's portrayed like it is in the film.
I would avoid karaoke
Singing.
like the plague. To be honest, personally, I don't like the idea of standing in a crowded room and singing with.
What if it's with your friends though?
I know, I just don't. It scares me.
Both. Bit of both.
Nice. That's the desired effect.
He's cool. He's cool sometimes, but he's very good at being embarrassing when he wants to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he enjoys it as well.
I do enjoy being embarrassing. Oh, yeah.
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 The very first day, I remember showing up to set. I remember wearing trousers and a shirt with some idea of looking smart, and changing into shorts and t-shirt before we ever started rolling because it was so brutally hot. I was just sweating through my clothes. And just being in awe of the moment, and you know, of being at that point of starting to shoot my first feature and seeing all of these people around working to make that happen and to elevate the words off the page. It was a really very special feeling.
I definitely remember the most from filming it, the scene with the teenagers jumping in the pool with Sophie. I remember that, obviously, guys. Obviously. I remember a lot of the things we filmed, because I've not got a bad memory like Paul.
Yeah. My memory's a little bit hazier, just, I don't know, maybe it's to do with age, but
Old.
yeah, I'm old. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember the scene in particular, when Callum walks down into the ocean or the sea. Just that seems pretty clear in my memory.
I remember seeing Frozen 2.
Frozen 2, whoa. I feel old that's one of your first memories of going to the cinema. Is that that's not your first? Yeah, okay. Thank
but
God.
It's one that I remember a lot.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring with my dad at the cinema, and that kind of was a huge experience for me going to the cinema. Yeah.
The first film I saw was The Witches. I was very young, very terrified, and very excited to be there, you know, in what is a fairly unique space when you've never been before. This huge dark hall filled with people, this screen that is so much bigger than the television that you experience at home. I do remember that experience quite clearly, but I lived in the cinema as a teenager, you know. I had the pass to Cineworld. I spent afternoons after school, weekends with my friends there. It was a huge part of growing up.
Do you know everyone's cinemas?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Yeah, my mom was extremely excited when she saw that the film, that we were going to be talking today. I'm just very flattered that people emotionally connected with the film. It's not about that specifically. It's about people feeling moved by it and relating in some way to the feeling that it's trying to articulate, because that is the point of the film. It builds to a feeling.
Seems to be a relatively consistent
Yeah.
response to it, or that they're gonna go call their mum or dad, or yeah, it's very satisfying, I think.
satisfying.
Yeah, to like have people feel
Watch
all the
people cry.
feelings. Not to watch people cry, but that the film that you make is eliciting such a response, I think. You kind of like it as well.
Yeah.